Good morning and welcome back to another scorching episode of I'd Lather Be Shaving, filmed live each week from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, shave mecca of the world. To my left,
high energy Matt Pisarcik.
And I'm Douglas Smythe from Phoenix Shaving.
Yep, today we're talking about the legendary Alum block and other firsts like the Trac 2 and how cartridge razors even got started.
Cannot wait to crack that baby open.
And lastly, the history and true and false questions around shaving.
Little shave trivia, if you will. All this and more, folks, on today's episode of I'd Lather Be Shaving. Stay tuned. So let's talk science. That's better. Now, where was I?
Are you done changing or whatever you're doing over there?
I'm just... Regardless, we are talking about Alum today, folks. Check it out.
Is it Alum or Alum?
Well, that's a good question. I learned about this when I was living in Central America, where they pronounced it Alum. But up here, we pronounce it Alum.
Okay.
But anyway is a good way to say it. This stuff is truly epic. I mean, this was born pretty much at the beginning of shaving, since shaving pretty much comes out of Egypt.
Right.
So does Alum. It actually was born out of ancient China and Egypt. That's what the history books say anyways. And this stuff is the first aftershave.
It's like a natural stone though, right?
Yes.
Aluminum phosphate or something?
Well, potassium alum. It should not ever be confused for the evil alum or aluminum that's found in deodorants that people are, which would be like, aluminum chlorohydrate, aluminum chloride, aluminum hydroxide.
Those are off the top of your head, right?
Aluminum zirconium, yes. Which, they have a tendency to, clog the pores and possibly cause breast cancer.
Or dementia.
Or dementia, yeah. The molecule is so small, whereas...
But we're not scientists.
We're not scientists, though I am wearing a lab coat and nothing underneath.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Anyways, so, the potassium alum. This stuff was used back in the day. It really was born out of ancient Egypt and China, as I spoke of in the beginning.
What exactly were they doing in Egypt with it?
Oh, glad you asked. Well, believe it or not, they were using it as a deodorant or a deodorizer. Same thing in China.
Pits, everything?
Pits, everything, for the most part. And then it wasn't really until the 1st century that it actually shows up on the official record. Plinus, the historian Plinus.
Right.
He records of it being used.
Now, I mean, whenever I've used this, it almost has like a salty kind of, element to it. Is it actually salt?
Yeah, it is.
It's big like aluminum rock salt, basically.
It is a lot like rock salt. But let me finish my history lesson here first. So,
all right.
Next time it shows up is pretty much in Rome.
Okay.
And it's known as Aluminus Romanus. That's not the case at all. It was actually known as Aluminum Romanum.
Big difference.
Again, it was used for deodorizing, but mostly for water purification at that time.
Okay.
And then it shows up again in the 15th century. The Pope.
Really?
The Pope had a monopoly. He had his own factory at the Vatican for alum and pretty much ran a monopoly of alum or alum at the time until about the 16th century where a factory was created in Germany. So on and so forth. This has shown up throughout history, and it's used medicinally for the most part. Stomach inflammations, and skin dermatitis,
right?
Stuff like that. Water purification. Then it turned out it was used as a leather tannin, and then it shows up in paper. It was used for paper production, which may or may not have been used in ancient Egypt for paper as well, as papyrus, or maybe dyeing too. So it's been used non-stop throughout the ages, and.
But today it's made a huge resurgence because people are into traditional shaving.
And this is a barber's best friend. Back in the day in barbershops, they used to use blocks of this too for an aftershave as an astringent and antiseptic. Because shaving was dangerous back in the day.
Right.
A barber could nick you. People were dying back in the day over little nicks.
So if you got a nick, this is actually going to sterilize it, or
if you know stippling pencils,
right? Yeah.
Very same stuff.
Okay.
Similar stuff. Same. It's alum as well, but used in a very similar way. And this will fix nicks, It'll tighten and tone the skin. It'll also cure acne. And if you notice, I have a little rubber band around here. I put that on there so I don't drop it because it can get kind of slippery.
Okay.
Another tip or trick would be if you go to the gym and you work out a lot, instead of using weightlifting gloves, keep this in your gym bag and just rub it on your hands, and it'll give you a stick. Also give you a stick on your razor if you're a shower shaver. Put it on your hands. You're not going to drop that thing. Also,
It's a lot of shtick.
A lot of shtick. And you can also put it on your fingertips and use it for skin pulling right through the lather, and it'll give you great grip.
So it's like a multi-purpose tool. It looks so simple.
It is awesome. This is really awesome stuff, and you can get a little travel case for it as well. But again, I have blocks of this everywhere, in my gym bag, at home, even hanging in my shower. I have it sticking with Velcro on the wall, just like that, so I can dip my fingers in it and use it to pick up stuff, scuttles and whatnot. It gives you excellent grip. But yeah, this stuff will cure acne.
Crazy.
I wish I'd known about this in high school. Awesome stuff. So what do you bring to the table today?
Well, we're
Truly
talking about
timeless.
firsts, and a lot of guys are always talking about double-edged razors, and it was always like the heyday of Gillette, the back in the glory days when double-edged was the only way. But a lot of people don't know how Gillette even got started into the whole cartridge craze. Like, when was that transition? When did they get into that? Do you know?
I'd have to say early 70s.
Spot on. 1971, 72, they started testing and debuting in what was called the Trac 2 razor. Now, a lot of people don't know this is actually an acronym for...
Wait, don't tell me. Too radical air conditioning.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Sorry,
Or
never could
the
guess.
twin blade razor and cartridge. That's what Trac stands for. Twin blade razor and cartridge system.
And they ran with that?
They ran with it. They wanted people to think too, you got double edge blade, that's already double. Well, with this new theme, they didn't want to give up that whole idea of value. They actually had a promotional phrase that it's one blade better than whatever you're using now. And the whole idea was that Gillette couldn't keep on patenting their double-edged blade. They kept on doing a new coating, stainless steel, chromium, Teflon,
They needed
super
another
glue.
first.
So all these other third-party makers were undermining their business and coming out with, just the blades. Meanwhile, Gillette has all this overhead for making the handles and having salespeople and store displays. So they needed to kind of wipe the slate clean. They've been rocking the double-edged blade since 1904. And when they came out with the Trac, it took those same two kind of cutting edges and put it onto a piece of plastic mold and held it in an exact position to perform kind of a crazy scientific process called hysteresis. Hysterious?
Hysteresis.
Hysterious. Well, we'll let one of our phonics teachers comment below with exactly how the pronunciation is on this word that will be magically displayed on the screen at this moment.
I was hooked on phonics for years. I'm still trying to kick it. Go on.
But anywho, so this whole process is actually kind of depicted here in this little picture. And I think we may have a roll here of some film to show you as well. That,
Check it out.
yeah, basically the first blade was kind of pulling the hair itself kind of forward or a little bit out of the pore, and the second blade would actually perform the cutting action. So it's kind of like a tug and pull. And you had to have the blades just lined up just right, or else you really don't get a very good action.
You're really going to open that. This is vintage.
Speaking of action, I'm going to ruin history here once again by opening up something that has never been touched. This was a demonstrator model of the Trac 2, and I think it was actually mailed. There's kind of bulk postage
testers.
paste. So we're going to go ahead and,
Tug and cut.
tug and cut using my handy dandy Leatherman here and get this baby
It's
open.
a Boy Scout can opener right there, folks.
Well, I happen to be fond of the Boy Scouts. So, I wanted to basically show you that Gillette was trying to just kind of do what they did originally in the early 1900s, and they wanted to stay ahead of the game. And when they came out with this cartridge, it wiped everyone off of the map. Basically, that was it. Now they
No more
had
competition.
They had a monopoly once again on this new kind of way of shaving. This is really hard to get out. I'm wondering what kind of...
I wouldn't think so after that Boy Scout comment, but
Oh, well, I have a lot of practice opening up Trac 2 containers. That's something I've done a lot of. Okay, I'm trying not to destroy it. I got it really close. It's just gonna go.
it was just punch me in the face. Some of you want that.
I would love to do that, actually. All right, and we'll probably break it on its way out.
Can I do that? You can just...
No, I'm just gonna slowly destroy it. Here we go. Oh, there's a coupon. I wonder if I can still use that. Ah, look at this, look at this. So we have another cool little kind of demonstration of that process we were talking about. And obviously a very 1970s looking advertisement of the American family all needing to use their disposable razor system.
Every single one of them.
So for 50 cents, you could mail this in and actually get a razor. It looks a lot like what's still out today, the Good News by Gillette. You still see in pharmacies a disposable razor. But yeah, we got the cartridge that's on here and a plastic handle, and it says demonstrator. That's kind of cool.
That is really fun. And this, it expired December 31st, 1973.
Yeah.
That was -3.
Well, I don't think I missed really anything on the part I destroyed.
Can I see that?
Yeah, it's kind of.
So this is the first Trac too.
That's it.
And you really...
The twin blade razor and cartridge system. Not to be confused with the what came after this was the Atra, which was the Australian test razor.
Do you think they had Schick in mind, like in their injectors when they came up with this?
Actually, they did.
Okay.
I kind of I'll just do a quick story on this. I did some work out at Procter & Gamble looking through some of Gillette's old archives, and it turns out Gillette was trying to make a proprietary blade and handle system as far back as 1928. That's as far back as some of their prototypes went, trying to get people to have to use their blade and their handle. That was the big thing. And like you said, Schick was doing that with the repeating razor. And Gillette tried to do it in the 40s with the dispenser where you would kind of hook.
Oh, right, yeah.
You'd hook the blade, so it was kind of a, you have to use their blade for that nice action of hooking it on and going over the notch center bar.
Because that's important.
But this was really the success. So this was what...
I mean, that was the game changer.
Yeah, and Gillette went from being a multi-million-dollar company to a multi-billion-dollar company.
Switching tracks, so to speak.
Huh, I see what you did there.
Right? And if you flip Trac over its cart, which was what Alum was carted around in back in the day.
You make these connections that just aren't there.
I put the PU in pun.
Well, speaking of put the PU, it's time for our trivia challenge.
I got a date, and I can't find my razor.
Cool it. I'll give you my Trac 2 razor.
2 blades? Does it really work?
Where you been? It's fabulous.
What's so fabulous?
As the first blade shaves the whisker, it lifts it out. So the second blade can shave it again, closer. And both blades are recessed, so it's safer.
I can't believe it. It's clean, and it hardly feels like I shaved.
The Gillette Trac 2 shaving system, the closest thing to a perfect shave.
I'm almost handsome.
And let's do this.
The first question. The first shaving brush was invented in 1000 BC. True or false?
Yeah, that seems like a very specific year that we really can't verify.
What year do you think it was?
I don't know, 1600s? 1700s?
Yeah, I think 1743.
1750.
Okay.
Just have a feeling.
Well, yeah, okay.
The first shaving cream was animal fat and ash.
That's the first soap, actually.
I'm gonna have to say that's true. It sounds like two things humans would put together.
No, it was actually a volcano.
Okay.
True.
I do this.
Gillette submitted their first patent for his disposable safety razor blade in 1899.
$18.99.
1899.
1899.
False.
Failed.
Well, he was
log.
talking about it then. He was talking about it.
It was
I
a-
was a little, the date didn't seem...
It was worked on since 1895, actually.
The first razor that folded into its handles that looked like a modern straight razor was made in Solingen, Germany. Where do you think it was made?
Sheffield, England.
What year?
I would say 1780s.
1680s.
1680s.
Yeah. Pilgrims came over with them. That's not true.
Bay rum was popular in New York before being available in Europe. Now, are you cheating? Look at that.
No.
Oh, so who's cheating now?
I don't cheat.
True, in the 1800s.
Cheat to win.
When to cheat.
The first Old Spice product in 1937 was for women.
We covered that on another episode.
That's right.
True. Shave of the day, or SOTD, is correctly defined on urbandictionary.com.
I think that's something that stands for something else.
What do you think it stands for?
I thought it had something to do with cutting yourself.
No, I think it's that's to do with sharing spit. Judges.
You are correct.
Sharing spit it is.
It stands for Song of the Day, or
Beep!
Wow. I had no idea we've been using these as hashtags, and it stands for something so much more
Last
vile.
question.
Sinister even.
The first video on Nick Shave's YouTube channel features how to grow a mustache synergy soap.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That one neither.
You have agents everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's true.
Well, I think we were actually
kinda true.
dead heat on every one of those questions. So, I guess we're both winners.
No. Survey says!
Yeah, well, let us know below in the comments who you think won this and what other questions we should be asked on our series here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks again for watching. Wait,
Before we
I'm just doing
cut
the
out,
big-
I just want that Boy Scout thing really. You just
Oh.
cut to the core. So what I want to say, folks, is, well, first check out my Boy Scout hammock from 1936, vintage.
That's really.
You're waiting for him to pull one out, aren't you?
I can't. All I can say is I was an Eagle Scout, so
And that's what I want to talk about. If you were an Eagle Scout, not him, and have any interest in helping me get wet shaving or traditional shaving in the Boy Scout handbook, please, please, please write the Boy Scouts at myscouting at scouting.org, and ask them that they consider making wet shaving or traditional shaving part of the hygiene merit badge, if you will. Takes 2 seconds to do. Send out an email right now and join me on my personal mission.
shouldn't you be on like a hill somewhere, like preaching this?
Whittling. I should be
Whittling?
whittling. I tend to whittle when I'm not here.
Well, this show is whittling up, and
It's whittled away. Even.
please like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know how you liked the episode and what else you'd like to see us cover here on I'd Lather Be Shaving.
Until next time,
Adios.
on with our day.
Keep on ending the show. Just keep on ending. We'll see you next time.
I hate happy endings.
I hate everyone.
I hate Christmas.
You sound like an old man.